It's the book of First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. I want to give all the praise and the glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world uniquely calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. And double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone who rule well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, lowering that they continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that's in the same Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, lowering that they continue to endure and be sincere. Right? And shalom to the Akwatiyam that are believers of the faith and this truth. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. You know, this lesson is towards the women, but even more, the men should learn from this too, because without, knowing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai or serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, every man household is going to be this westernized household. We still run through the problems with women in the flesh or the emotions and feelings, but you really dwell in your household according to the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Lord. And true believers, men and women, will abide in these words and change themselves so that they're separate from the men and the women of this world, and might not even look like the relationships of this world, right? And this is a daily repetition, right? So this is from the Shade Room, dealing with Trina and her dude. While I was already giving the praise to the Most High, some of y'all probably is already reading the screen. To some people of the world, this don't look like nothing. Maybe I should mind my business. But if we do not have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in our house, which she say a few times she believed that it is a high power, right? But she is an Israelite regardless if she don't believe or she do. I had to say something on it because it just been, for the past few days, things just been showing about women, and when we teaching this word, it's not just one-sided. It's not just about the men and the truth. It's not about the men that's of the world. This is about all Israel. Men, women, even the little boys and the little girls. This teaching, these lessons is to reprove, correct you, and Lord willing, if you believe, to change and humble yourself and take accountability. So this is what it says. It says, nothing moves until the baddest chick says so. Trina reveals to Keisha Koar Salaki that she didn't get a prenup with her husband. And Benjamin Crease Jr., the rapper, explained, Benjamin brings all his money to her. My husband brings all of his money to me, so I'm in charge. He can't spend a dime without my consent. He cannot spend a dime for nothing unless it goes through me. She shared. Right now, I did look up the word prenup, right? In the Bible, you're not going to find prenup, right? Prenup is an agreement, a written contract between two people who are about to get married. You have 4 kind of examples. The first one is what it does, why is it useful, when to consider it, and what it includes. I'll just read those and then go into the verses, right? It says, a prenup outlines how assets and debt will be divided. Debits will be divided if the couple gets divorced or one of them dies. It can also cover other issues such as a spousal support, inheritance rights, how to protect assets acquired before marriage. Why is it useful? A prenup can help protect assets and avoid court proceedings in the event of a divorce. It can also help ensure that both parties understand the financial implications of marriage. When to consider it. You might consider a prenup if you don't like your state's laws or martial properties, or if you want to have more control over how your assets are handled. What it includes. A prenup typically lists each person's assets, um, debits, and how they'll be divided. It can also include information about how long the couple was married, the ages, the health of the spousal, whether either spouse has a pension. Now, I can understand um, in America about, these prenups, right? But, marriage to the Lord wasn't about a prenup, because when you go to First Corinthians, the 7th chapter, you can read from verse 1 down to 9, and you can read ten down to 24 and 25 down to 40. Then I could read the whole chapter. I'm about to read the verse that I'm looking at right now. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. It says, "And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. Let not the husband put away his wife," because the Lord he really don't. Marriage wasn't about us getting a divorce. And if a woman and a man get a divorce, and it's really on the men getting a divorce, a woman's supposed to stay single unless they get reconciled, you know? And a woman can really move on if the man dies, right? But this goes back to what I said earlier in this video, that we have to be grounded, well grounded, in understanding Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because marriage started with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He gave us these words, And coming in Esau, he made marriage a business. Now, it is a business in the beginning when a man is getting a virgin. It becomes a business between that man and the father, which the mother or the daughter don't really have a say, so the mother can, right? But it's really about the men, because the father is going to know what type of man he's going to want his daughter to be with, right? And if this man is fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, a father would give his daughter to that man, right? Because we see beautiful examples in the scriptures, right? Now, the Lord made us fall super low where you don't see arranged marriage, where the father is choosing the man, right? In most cases, a woman is bringing, oh, this is a dude that I like, and she probably already laid with him. Oh, he wants to marry me, and then the father gets the approval, which is good too, right? But you have some people, even if the father don't approve, behind their back, they'll still get married. Back then, it was all about the father arranging the marriage, Even the mother was able to look, but you got to think that's a woman. So it'd be better for her to nourish and build her daughter in the way she should be, even herself. Train up a child in a way that they should go and they won't depart, right? And this is just an example of showing if a man don't have the Lord, he's going to fall into this situation. And if a woman don't have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, she's going to fall in this position, getting high and mighty. She's thinking she's a boss woman. He can't spend a dollar or a dime without her say so. Now, a side note, I know everybody knows that she has money. Yes, she is so-called rich. I don't know what's in her money, so I don't know what's in her bank account, so I'm going to just say she rich. But he's an artist too, and how easy it is to make a few bucks doing whatever he is doing. He has money too, But she's saying in here that my husband brings all of his money to me. Now, to me, that sounds like a full-blown simp. He's not standing 10 toes down, and this goes on this Esau side, because now, say if they get a divorce, she can really get him for all what he got. And most women that either leave a man when they get married, it all goes and stems to gimme, 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 let's go to court. A lot of marriage is not genuine. A lot of divorces is just happening, but it's just a whole bunch of people committing adultery, you know. But this how low we came, right? I got other verses I want to point to, but I'm gonna save the first Ezra, the third and fourth chapter. I'm gonna save that for when I'm about to close. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is God, right? Because at the bottom she's saying he can't spend a dime without my consent. Let me say it again. Yeah. He can't spend a dime without my consent. He can't spend a dime for nothing unless it go through me, right? So she's feeling like she's the boss. But this shows that she wasn't taught about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because the man is the head of her. This is why this place must be destroyed ASAP, you know? And even more, you know, brothers that's in this faith, we want havoc and disaster to come, because a lot of you women that's not believing in the Lord or having faith, you're going to be humbled. You're going to be humbled in that day, right? Or what is it? 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, verse 19. People are going to be going into their neighbor houses and spoiling their goods. You know, possession is a good, right? Let me get that, because this basically kind of lines up with a lesson I did yesterday. So let's go to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus. And it's amazing because I did a lesson last week and I said that sometimes you can be meditating, or you do a lesson and then you do another lesson days later, and you might end up bringing out the same precepts. This is how these scriptures is a continual thing. But even more, these scriptures is deep, so deep. When you go into, like, if we go into certain topics, it's so deep. But some of these lessons just go straight to the point. A quick dagger, stab right to the side and keep it moving, right? So this is Sirach chapter 36 verse 24. It says, "He that getteth a wife getteth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest." Now, some women think they're a pillar of rest because they giving you sex and they cooking, but it's supposed to be an all around. She's not a pillar of rest if he has to give all his money to her like he a little child. It don't matter how much money she got. You know, a man is the head of all of this. You know, and a lot of you women is going to have to answer to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Even more when that day come. Imagine when some of y'all women, when some of your husbands is going to war or they die in famine, and you're going to want to be protected, and the Lord might just have you come across a man of the Lord, and he's going to be choosing, nah, I don't want you, I'm good. Y'all going to be butthurt. But of course, when we saying this, yeah, man, yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen probably years from now. That's a terrible mind to have when you go into the scriptures and everybody want to quote what happened with Noah. You have to know that the Lord is giving us a chance before it happened to change our mind and to change how we move, so that we can be prepared for those things to come, you know. And for the women that is changing their ways, that, you know, they should be doing it daily, working on having a better response to their husband or to any man that they could eventually be dealing with, you know, working on being able to tell something that's going on with themselves, regardless if a man give them a all stern answer or a soft answer. You know, a man is going to have the best interest for himself and his household. And most man is mostly thinking logical. Some women is not thinking logical. Some things is not just hitting with the man. And that's not like, oh my goodness, that's just how it is. You know? That's why going into the history of scriptures, what happened to the nation of Israel, especially the order of a husband and a woman, we didn't have certain things. When we were following Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, The problems that we have when we're not following Yahweh Shem Shai wasn't going in a righteous household, right? I'll read 25. It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that have no wife will wander up and down, right? So say if, she's known for hopping and skippity, but guess what? That goes back to the last lesson I did and just quoting it. Sex consummate the marriage, and on this side, sex consummate the relationship. But it's only a such thing with marriage with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. So if a woman hop from ride to ride, you're just having an adulterous relationship, and all of y'all are committing a sin. You know, every woman's karuchi was supposed to be for one man, unless your husband died. You know. But let's go to another precept. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. So the same way you'll submit to the Lord, you're doing it to your husband. Submit is to be in subject. And this one is the other way around. No woman that submit to their husband would be proud and say, he give me all his money. You ain't gonna feel hurt on that. Watched the video earlier at work. There was a Jake sister that looked to be with an Edomite, but you never know. It could be an Israelite. And he gave her a wad of money, and she was like, wait, yo, babe, I don't want to take this money from you. You always doing for me. He's like, nah, you know, I want to do something for my babe. So then she just said, you know what? I'm going to do something for you with the money you gave me. And there's other stuff that she said, but just for that notion, you know, she wanted to give the money back. He said, no, I don't want the money. And then she just said, you know what? The money that you gave me, I'm going to do something for you. There's other videos I seen where brothers gave their girl 1,000 or 500. She said, we going to use this. We going to go we going to the movies and we going out to eat. He's like, then you ain't gonna have no money left. She's like, no, but you do so much, and now that you gave me this money, no, I'm gonna use this money to spoil you. You know, a lot of women got it twisted on this side. You know, a man is a servant when it comes under Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, dwelling with a wife according to knowledge, shit in that bedroom, protecting you, right? Feeding you, guiding you. That's how we are serving to a woman. But yielding and giving all that's like Solomon giving all his money and his possessions to these women that he was married to. So a woman should be subjective. Verse 23, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Mashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto a Mashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. So a woman in everything should be subject, submissive, right? She should be yielding to authority, which is the man. That's why I read 1 Timothy 2 and 12. The Lord didn't give the woman a position to usurp authority over the man. Colossians 3 and 18. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit in the Lord. Why is these scriptures in here? Because Israel started to fall away in the time of the Greeks, even in Babylon, right? Persian Medes and the Greek captivity, Roman captivity. It was a lot going on. A lot of our brothers and sisters was cleaving to the ways of the heathen, doing orgies, the same shit we see here, right? Ecclesiastes 3 and 15 in NLT. What is happening now happened before. This is why we have those things. And literally, men supposed to be being 10 toes down for the Lord so he could put order in his household, right? Let me get a side precept, which is Sirach Ecclesiasticus 27 verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, his house shall soon be overthrown. This is why most men's houses like that is overthrown, right? Because you're not fearing the Lord. Men is on Love and Hip Hop and they go through relationship, or Safari, Erica climbing through it over his gate and whatever, and then you try to get all that money from him, but it didn't work. But then you dissing him. Now I guess he getting married to a new girl. Now you sweating them because it was either some good or you felt something. This side, this Western side, in this whole world, without Yahweh Shimon Shai, our women is doo-doo. You know? For the women that is believing, like, man, those women that's going to be, that is of the elect, whoever you is, the Lord blessed you just by coming. It doesn't, look, even if you're defiled, that helps you take accountability. Like, look, like, just imagine you with a dude and then it's a virgin that like your husband. That right there should motivate you to be like, you know what? I'm going to build her up because I couldn't build myself up to be a virgin for my husband because the Lord allowed me to be defiled. You know what I'm saying? That's a motivation right there. But it's even more motivation. The Lord allowed you in his faith and you was defiled, you was touched by men, or you had kids, but you believe in him. You believe in the gospel. You believe in the prophecies when they coming out. You might not be able to break it down yourself, but you believe in it. You know who the teachers is. You know, all praise to Yahweh Shimon Shai that he left a remnant of some believing women, man. It's women that probably was some freakazoids in the world, and they came in this truth, and took accountability. You know? Because the elders even say, if you got more than one body, more than two, more than three, more than four, more than five, you got to really humble yourself. Because you should really be a virgin, right? Even more when a man popped you and you have a child. Trina, I believe Trina got kids, you know? But Trina has a record of men, you know? This is not about a man. Rod can go into any woman. He could pregnate 1,000 women. But a woman, their Karuchi was made for one arrow, for one rod. You know? And now that Esau got women head blown up because the money that they can make, the rights that they have, now a woman just feel that they're more popping than a man. This is why I'm praying that the Lord brings destruction, terror, famine, chaos. I hope you women can't even get your lashes done, put your makeup on, your wigs, so that you can really be humble. Even the men, you drug dealing niggas, you P. Diddy mind niggas, right? Any type nigga that's not believing or serving the Lord or looking and trying to take accountability and make a change, you're going to be humbled in these last days, right? So just like this man, he's getting humbled because Sirach 27:3. He's not holding himself diligently in the fear of the Lord. That's why his house is overthrown, man. Right? By a left-hand side spirit. This is Titus 2:5. To be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good and obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. Right? So a woman should be discreet and keepers at home, good and obedient to their husband. Like, it was a show that I'm watching called The Family Business, and the dude that played Joanna Man was telling his wife, which her name is London, that he wants her to be at home, caring for the house and the kids and taking care of us. Like, I know that you want to have a business, but I want you to be a woman. Now, even on this side, a woman I wouldn't mind a woman working, because when you go to Proverbs, a woman is working with her hands, right? So at Proverbs 31, I think I'm going to read it in NLT because there's a certain word that they use. But I'll read it in the KJV too for you guys. This is Proverbs, I believe it was verse 16. Yup. So I'm going to start at 15. It says, she riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maids. She considereth a field, and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. That's the point. So I'm going to go to the NLT. Bear with me, family. So this Proverbs 31, verse 15 and 16 NLT, it says, she gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the days work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it with her earnings. She plants a vineyard, right? So a woman can have her own bread, right? But guess what? A woman is being a helpmeet to making life easier for her husband. What is the meaning of a woman? The etymology, you go look it up. Oh, I'm a boss. No, it's not a boss, bitch. It's not a fine woman. No, a woman is a female servant. And when the Lord created, really talking about the children of Israel, um, when the Lord created us, and really all men and all women, the men of Israel are supposed to be servants under Yahushua, like Yahushua is a servant of the Heavenly Father, and a woman is a servant under the man. We're all servants. Even as a teacher, I'm a teacher. I am a servant towards the sheep. And then the teachers I'm watching, they're servants under the sheep. For the sheep that's under them. You know, that's what a minister is, a servant. You know, nothing wrong with that. This is 1 Peter chapter 3, and I'm going to I'll start at 5. It says, "For after this manner in old time the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being a subject unto their own husbands," right? Subject, right? Subject to the authority of their husband, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement, right? So a woman's really supposed to get in this thing and obey their husband, right? But when we fall away from Yahweh Shem Shai, I'm going to show you what happens, right? So the first thing we're going to go to, we're going to go to First Esdras, Salaki. Where is it? First Esdras. First Esdras chapter 3, so you can hear. This is First Esdras chapter 3, starting at I'm going to start at 8. It says, "Then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under the king Doris' pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, as it is appointed." It says the first wrote, "Wine is the strongest." The second wrote, "The king is the strongest." The third wrote, "Women are the strongest. But above all things, the truth beareth away victory." Even more with the scriptures we brought out, this is the victory, that this is true. When we're serving the Lord, a woman should already know she should be in subjection to her husband, right? Let me get a side precept real quick in Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 3, in verse 16. It says, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over you." So if he want multiple kids, he can have that, right? When we talking about that individual woman, if it's another woman, and he be like, "Hey, I need you to build with," he could go do that, you know? But even more is going to be more beneficial for a man that's serving the Lord than a man of the world, right? But a man of the Lord, if he want multiple kids, guess what? You gonna be popping it, right? And guess what? If you can't, he gonna get another girl to get him another kid. Because this is what women was made for the man, not the man for the woman, right? It says, "Thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee," right? The man is supposed to rule over the woman, right? Right? The man's supposed to rule over the woman. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8 and 9. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. You women were created to be under our rulership. Back then, women loved that. Go, and I keep quoting it. I guess I have to watch this again. I keep saying it. And while I was at work, a brother in Great Millstone was speaking of the TV show Spartacus, right? So I'm gonna have to watch it again. If you was to watch that, when slaves was able to get free, but even before that, you know, women wanted to be under a man because then they know that they will eat, they will have clothes, and of course those women is thinking, I'm about to please him. Most likely give him sex, most likely serve him, you know? So you got to think, especially in those times, you know, men are looking like superstars without being a rapper or a singer. If you can fight and protect them, women are going to flock to you, you know? Why you think the industry the way it is? If a man got money, look at how many women Lil Wayne went through, or this guy or that guy, because of the money and his little talent that he have. But all of that is going to dwindle away from them, and all that light is going to shine on the elect through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right? Because there's going to be few men left on the earth, and that's really talking about few righteous men on the earth. You know? So back, we're going to go to the actual point now, which is 1 Ezra chapter 4, because it gave you the wine is the strongest, the king is the strongest, the woman is the strongest, but the truth bear away the victory. And I kind of quoted, the truth is these scriptures. So we already showed that. Now we're going to show how it's saying the woman is the strongest. How is the woman one of the strongest? Because a man can lose his way, right? So this is 1 Ezra chapter 4, and I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, a man leaveth his own father that brought him up in his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father, nor mother, nor country. By this also ye must know that the woman have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Yeah, a woman taketh his sword, and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sell upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon lion, and goeth in the darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Then we just see Benjamin, this rapper Benjamin, he brings all his money to her, and she the one saying he can't spend none unless it's my say so. That's dominion, right? She rule over this man, right? Verse 25, it says, wherefore a man loveth his wife better than his father and mother. Yet many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also perished, have erred in sin for women. And now do ye not believe? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Right? But we could keep on going. Right? We see, if I was to quote, I think a little higher, it show you that no, I'm going to keep reading. Verse 30, it says, no, verse 29, it says, yet did I see him in Apam, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Barticus, sitting at the right hand of the king and taking a crown from the king's head, right? She's taking a crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. She smacked the king. And yet, for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to fatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. Guess what? What happened with Herod? Oh, I'll give you anything. Just name it. Land, this. She said, give me the head of John the Baptist. And he was over here saying, don't lay with your brother's wife. He cringed because he kind of liked John. And guess what? Had the soldier go cut his head and bring his head on a platter. You know? Even though Herod was a damn Idumean, right? You got to understand a woman that's not under the power, the grace, right, of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, men are going to go out their wits for a woman. You're going to err. You're going to, especially for Israelite men, you're going to sin. You're going to commit iniquity for this woman. It could be, oh, my man is hitting me. He's doing this, and she chose the wrong one, and you ended up committing adultery. I did that way before I got in this truth, right? And then when you get into the truth, it might be a girl that already got touched by a man, had a kid by a man. Guess what? Through the spirit, I committed adultery, man. You know, but it's all by Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shai, is because we're becoming what is it called? New again. You know, we're born again. Right? Not going through a woman's womb, but born again through the spirit, because it's the inward man that gets renewed and the flesh is weak. This is how defiled we is, you know? So those things happen. Yes, you might take certain precautions on this side, but it's all by Yahweh Ba'Shem Al Shai that's man's going to the Lord, you know? So I'm going to read that again, but I'm going to read it in the NLT and then we're going to close. This is 2nd Ezra chapter, not 2nd Ezra, I keep saying that. 1st Ezra chapter 4 in verse 20. In the G&T, I think I said the NLT, but this is the G&T. It says, a man will leave his own father who brought him up and leave his own country to get married. He will forget his father and his mother and his country to spend the rest of his life with his wife. So you must recognize that women are your masters. Don't you work and sweat and then take all that you have earned and give it to your wives? A man will take his sword and go out to attack, rob, and steal, and sail the seas and rivers. He may have to face lions or travel in the dark, but when he has robbed, stolen, plundered, he will bring the loot home to the woman he loves. A man loves his wife more than his parents. Some men are driven out of their minds on account of a woman, and others become slaves for the sake of a woman. Others have been put to death, have ruined their lives, or have committed crimes because of a woman. So now do you believe me? The emperor's power is certainly great. No nation has the courage to attack him. But once I saw him with Apame, his concubine, the daughter of the famous Barticus, while sitting at the emperor's right. She took his crown off his head, put it on her own, and then slapped his face with her left hand. All the emperor did was look at her with an open mouth. Whenever she smiled at him, he smiled back. And when she gets angry with him, he flatters her and teases her until she is in a good mood again. You see this? That is a simp, man. Just like this man, Benjamin. Gentlemen, if women can do all that, surely there can be nothing stronger in the world. The emperor and his officials just looked at one another. Right? Now just imagine that, man. When you look at Isaiah 4:1, let me get that in the NLT. And then I'm going to close, right? Because that's a man that's full of sin. A man that's of this world. A man that don't have his self continually in the fear of the Lord, or continually seeking the face of Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord is allowing his house to be overthrown. A man is supposed to absorb authority. A woman would not dare slap her husband, because guess what? That man can put you in your place too. Even more, or do to David and hear Michael say, oh, you dancing for them women, and he said, I'm dancing for the Lord, and he walk off from her, and she didn't get pregnant at all. Died in old age and didn't have no kid at all. You know? And back then a man was dealing with women, man. If he wanted it, he was gonna get another girl, man. You know? But this Isaiah 4:1, and we come into this time, it says, when that time comes, 7 women will grab hold of one man and say, we can feed and clothe ourselves, but please let us say you are our husband so that we won't have to endure the shame of being unmarried, right? Or being called a widow. Or second Esdras 15 and 19, right? Being spoiled by being ravished. Somebody going in that coochie, that taco, you know. Lord willing, women can continue to hold on to being humbled on this side, you know, because it's going to become a very worst time in any empire or any place that failed. Women were taken and was ravished, you know, because most places that's overtaken is by men of war, men of valor, and you women was manhandled, and they was touching all up on you and having their way with you. You can go do it in history and research and go look at it. Even when I just talked about Spartacus, when they just bring whore, especially if a man didn't have bread, and if she could be a whore, or she could just be a regular woman just around, or if they're working for Rome and they got to go kill everybody, and then after they did a good job, the Rome soldier can say just leave the girls, and they'll just go in there and just have their way with a woman. And sometimes they can have their way with a woman so good that girl might liking him, because then it might be like, man, what else can I do? And then maybe if I like him, maybe I won't have to deal with being taken advantage of. So some women will offer it instead of just being taken advantage of and humiliated like that. They'll just give it up so that it can be more appealing. Than they ain't gotta go through the hurt of or the turmoil in the mind of being ravished. So again, Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect. And if not, hey, this wasn't for you. With all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. You know, he's undefeated. Undefeated. So with that, Shalom. Shalom. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, Lord willing, that they continue to endure and be diligent, right? In a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, that they endure and be diligent and sincere. And shalom to the Akwatiyam that are believers of the faith and the truth. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. So with that, shalom. Shalom.